We are going to start with fermented foods. Fermented foods are fantastic because they help the gut. Now, where you're from, this is sauerkraut, right? But where you're from, you could use kombucha. Kombucha is simply fermented tea, and it can be made. You just look up a recipe. I'm not going to give one here because I don't have one. But you can make a recipe. You can look up a recipe on the internet on how you can make your own kombucha. Now, what does this do for you? These fermented foods. There are other foods that are. There are pickles that can be fermented. And wherever you are in the world, maybe kombucha isn't the thing there. Maybe sauerkraut isn't the thing there. But every single culture has its fermented food that it eats. And so it is a part of our health. Where does it target? Where does it really help? It helps the gut. The gut. It brings new beneficial bacteria into the gut and also nourishes the ones that are already there. So you have balance in the gut, right? Because the seat of, if you're, for example, there's the medicine of Ayurveda. Ayurvedic medicine, its whole core stems from gut, the health. Any problem they have, you go to an Ayurvedic doctor, the first thing they do is check the gut. Everything. Because usually they're in the gut. What is the gut connected to? The gut is connected to the emotions. It is the emotion, it is the seat of your emotions energetically, because you're not just physically, you're a spirit, but between the physical and the spiritual, they're the energetics of who you are. The body has an energy. Every single organ has its energy. Every single limb has its energy. Right? That is the energy field. That's not spirit. That's the energy field. If you amputate someone's arm, you could talk to amputees, and if one of you are here and you could back this up for me, please do. Thank you. Thank you beforehand. If anybody here has a limb missing, often what I hear is, and this is commonly heard, that when someone has a limb missing, they will sometimes reach down to scratch the limb, but there's no limb there. The energy of the limb is still there. Right? And so this is the way it is for the body. So when we eat fermented foods and all of that, and your gut becomes healthy, it also energizes or also assists the energetic aspects of your system. Right? So this works on the gut. This is great for the gut. And so in the West, leaky gut syndrome or Crohn's disease is prominent for two reasons. Very, very poor diets and very, very poor mental health. We are forced to suppress things all the time. And the emotional system is degraded and vilified. And you are taught to not be too emotional. We are taught that, and we're taught to suppress, and we're given medications that suppress the emotional body. And so the emotional body is holding on to so many things that the dam starts to break. And it shows up physically as Crohn's disease or leaky gut. And it's horrible. It's one of the most horrible things that we carry. So what you need to do if you live in the West, first of all, is start to do the work of releasing stuff that you've suppressed. And start to do the things that help to heal the leaky gut, which is fermented foods. Go find out what your blood type is and eat and carry your lifestyle accordingly. Because your blood type is the biggest genetic indicator of the kind of lifestyle that is ideal for you and the kind of foods that you should eat. Even so-called healthy foods that might be healthy for someone else might not be healthy for you. For example, tomatoes are not really a healthy food for me to eat. I like tomatoes every once in a while, but I don't eat them a lot. Because blood type A tomatoes are not healthy foods for you. You see, so it's a healthy food, but not for, generally speaking, a blood type A person. Right? Thank you, JC. Please share and like the live. Thank you so much. So this is a great thing. So this should be a part of your diet. Fermented foods, kombucha, sauerkraut, kimchi. So if you don't like kimchi, then you don't have to eat that. There's all different other kinds. Because kimchi can be a little bit smelly, very strong. But that is the number one fermented food. Kimchi, by the way, for what it does. The number one is kimchi. And you don't have to go to Korea to get kimchi. Now you can get it in any big city. It's there. It's there because it's become very popular. All right. Okay, let's see here. Take the pulp of pineapple, ginger, and cayenne pepper with peppercorns and make a pretty nice spice. That's right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And that will help your stomach as well. That will, unless you have an aversion to peppers, so maybe it won't. But generally speaking, pineapple, enzymes that help with digestion, cayenne pepper also do that, and cayenne pepper helps to raise your metabolism, and it's also very good for healing. I make just now that you mention it, if someone has a fever or a flu or a cold, I will make a concoction. It'll be brandy, warm water, cinnamon, lemon, and a little bit of hint of cayenne pepper. Not any, even if someone doesn't like pepper, it's just a hint. You can just taste a little bit of it, and that'll knock anything out. That'll knock anything out. So thanks for that contribution. You can take rosemary, sage, and other greens, dehydrate them, and turn them into spices. That's right. That's also true. I've got my little herb garden going on right now. What about kimchi? Oh, I just mentioned it. Thank you, Melly Mel. Okay, so fermented foods, very, very healthy and will help you. Okay, the gut. And the gut is so important. I want to emphasize and talk just a few seconds on the gut. The gut is responsible for your spiritual expansion. So you want to make it as healthy as possible. The gut, which is the seat of the emotions, your emotions are what are responsible for your evolution. Right? You will hear the emotions being put down many, many times. I just was watching a TV series about an alien on Netflix, and the alien says, "Oh, we've evolved past emotions." And I said, that's another little subtle message to get people to ignore the most important thing in their spiritual evolution, the emotions. You don't evolve past your emotions. You evolve with them and because of them, and you won't. You might be able to get technologically advanced, but even that will come to a absolute and direct stop, because consciousness, once you get to a certain level of technological advancement, at a certain level, you can go no further without consciousness, and then you're stuck. You can't evolve anymore. You can't evolve anymore. And any beings in the universe just because they might be technologically more advanced than us, are not, they're very lowly advanced. If they are not emotionally capable, they are very, very backwards. They're not advanced at all. Is sourdough bread healthy? Is sourdough bread healthy? Um, it depends. It depends. If the ingredients come, I'm going to answer this very simply. If the sourdough bread you're eating you bought from the store and it has ingredients in there you can't pronounce, it's not healthy. If it's sourdough bread made from a bakery that is conscious and they just put the 5 or 6 or 7 ingredients and they all have like only 5 letters and you could say them easily, or you could show them to your 5-year-old and your 5-year-old can read the ingredients easily, then it's healthy. Then it's healthy. Now, we're going to talk about, the next thing we're going to talk about is citrus fruits. Citrus fruits. This one is from my little lemon tree. I'm fortunate enough to have a backyard. I have a little lemon tree sitting in the back. And it's off of that tree that I took care of myself. Right? So, citrus, especially lime and lemons, assist us in giving us all kinds of minerals and vitamins, including vitamin C, right? Very important as an antioxidant and very important to the body. We need lots of it in the body. So if you're not taking lots of citrus, then supplement. Get some vitamin C vitamins that are natural and are not acidic. You can go to any health food store and read and research the healthy vitamin C for you. And so this is great because it also helps the endocrine system. The endocrine system is the interface between the physical and the spiritual within you. The endocrine system houses the pineal gland, the hypothalamus. It also houses the kidneys, the adrenal glands. A lot of you out there that are on your spiritual path, you feel a little lethargic all the time. It's probably your adrenal glands need some attention, and I'm going to give you something for that in a little bit. Oh, I didn't bring it out. I'm going to bring it out. Adrenal glands, right? So that's the endocrine system. It's also the reproductive system and all that, and things I'm leaving out, the thyroid and all of that. And so when you eat citrus, it helps that system, the endocrine system. It also will help to decalcify your pineal gland if your pineal gland is calcified by much of the foods that we eat and the fluoride especially, right? So you want to have healthy citrus. Here's my prescription that I use every day. Every morning, I get some hot water, not very hot, not boiling, but warm, even more, a little bit more than warm. And I put a lemon juice in there, and I drink it. If I want to sweeten it a little bit, I'll put some honey in there, and I drink it. This is such a great tonic for the liver. The liver helps to cleanse it because your liver does a lot of work. Cleanses the liver, helps the endocrine system, helps the brain, gives the body minerals and nutrition. This one little fruit, right? Every morning, this is great. If you're blood type A, it helps to start to stimulate the digestive juices in the stomach, which we're very deficient in. For blood type A. Right? So this little fruit is such a little miracle worker, along with the other citrus in the family. This is easy to get, and I'm sure half of you have some lemon or lime in your house. Very easy to get. It's all over. Such a powerful food, right? The next thing we're going to talk about is just general fruits and vegetables. I kind of touched on it earlier. Fruits and vegetables, if you can get them from an open air market or farmer's market, That's where you want to get them. If you're able to do that, go to the open air and farmers market and get your fruit there. And support those local farmers, those local guys and gals that bust their behinds to bring that to us. And stop giving it to these corporations who give a rat's ass about you and me. Take the effort and go there once and get those fruits from there. Because as I said earlier, when you're taking fruit that comes directly from a tree, the ground, a plant, a vine, every upgrade that occurs on the planet, you're partaking in. Because it's in that fruit. It's in the plant. It's in all of that. And so that's another great way of indirectly participating with the process going on here on Earth. In a conscious way. Buy from your local people. The closer to home you buy, the healthier. Right? The other thing I want to mention, people talk about organic. We already know organic. Do you know what's more important than organic? Seasonal. Seasonal. You eat the fruits that are in season. The vegetables that are in season. What's in season? What does that mean? The ones that are growing where you live. Like, for example, we do this all the time, but is it really healthy to eat oranges all year round? When I was a kid, I was fortunate to grow in the country in Costa Rica, where when I was 5 and 6, there were no roads, no trucks. And so you ate what was available. Oranges, 3 months of the year you ate oranges. So when oranges came around again, you gorged. You loved it. You enjoyed it. You really savored the taste of an orange. Because for the next 9 months, there weren't going to be no oranges around. You couldn't go to a store to buy them because you lived off the land practically. So, seasonally. Now, lemons in San Diego grow year-round. So you can eat them year-round. So eat locally. And eat seasonally. As much as you can, right? I'm also practical here. Also practical. So that's what you want to do with your foods. Now, let's go to foods from the sea. Foods from the sea. Foods from the sea are very, very, very important. There are things you get from them that you don't get from foods in the earth. Sea vegetables. Irish moss. Sea moss. Oh my God, why can't I remember? You guys, please help me out. Help me out here with some of these great foods. No worries, Angelina. Stick around. I'm gonna do a quick review. All right. Thank you, Unica Williams. Kelp, seaweed. Yes. All fruits from the sea. Vegetables, because they contain nutrients within them that you can only get from the sea. For example, iodine. This is, I have it as a supplement, but if you're eating sea vegetables, you don't need to supplement, right? And you don't need a lot of it, right? Grind it up fine and put it, and you can have it in tea or you can put it in stuff. All these sea vegetables have all of the things that support the body throughout and the endocrine system as well. The system that houses the pineal gland, the hypothalamus, the thyroid gland, the reproductive glands, right? The kidneys, and all of those. Because those are the things, if you notice, a lot of people have conditions known as, there are two major that are this popped up. All of a sudden, they're a problem. Crohn's disease, leaky gut, and diseases that where the body attacks itself. right? Where the body is attacking itself. You start getting into your sea vegetables. You start getting and eating your sea vegetables, the algae and all of that. And you will notice it will start to stabilize that. And your body will start to get what it needs. Sea vegetables are extremely important. Extremely important. And so if you can't get sea vegetables, at least get your iodine, especially if you're female. You need more iodine than your male counterpart. Many of the cancers that we have are due to a lack of iodine in the body. So easy to get. And you don't need much. This bottle, this container here, which is, I think maybe 3 ounces, wait, 1 full ounce, 1 fluid ounce. 1 fluid ounce of iodine is 610 servings. That's how little of it you need. That's how potent it is. 610 servings. So if you're not getting any sea vegetables, get it. If you don't get around to it, or you're not, at least start taking some iodine once a day, 1 drop. This will help also to decalcify your pineal gland and to bring nutrition to not only to the body, but the aspect of us, the endocrine system, that interfaces with the spiritual side of us. Autoimmune disease is the body attacking itself. Autoimmune disease stems from the endocrine system, and it stems from the diet and the things that they put in the food, because they know that that's our link between our physical selves and the spiritual side of us. They know that. And all the things they spray in the air, stuff they put the food and water, is about that. But you are not subject or a slave to any of it. You simply be conscious and you'll neutralize that. They're spending billions of dollars spraying the air and poisoning, billions and billions, and all you got to do is be conscious. And you neutralize all the shit that they're doing. Conscious. Appreciate your water. Give it gratitude before you drink it. That's what I mean. Do the same for your food and everything that you consume. Everything that you consume. And then tune out all the negative stuff that they put out here. Tune it out. Because this is, you consume through this as well. And this. And this. You control what goes through there. Just don't be an unconscious nabob just consuming everything that they throw out. Like this infiltrator came in earlier talking about there's research shows that there's no proof. They say research. And what do you mean by research? Who? Your research? Whose research? No, I got my own research. Huh? Yeah. Oh, Energy Flow was here earlier. It says that person was a scientist. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them people. Okay? Scientists especially. Those guys. Now, there are some good scientists out there, so I'm not broad brushing. But much of them are freaking robots. Scientists work for your government and they work for corporations. That's who they work for. And all of the work and research that they do is owned by those governments and corporations, and they are only allowed to say what they are told they can say. Because last I checked, and someone on here correct me, there are no freelance scientists out there. They're all working for governments and corporations, and we know what those reptiles are like. Okay? So when they say it's all in the research, where's the science and all of this? I go, why don't you go to your corporation, your government, and get it? Because I am no longer confining myself to your so-called research and your science, because all you do is make instruments and technologies of death and destruction. GMO foods that poison the body, bombs that destroy and help the wicked ones create genocide all over the world. I'm not interested in your story, because I've seen the results of your so-called research, and it isn't helping humanity. So tune out from those people. Because I've spoken to scientists too. And when they are free to speak, they tell you the truth. Nature will take care of those who take care of us. Yes, Daddy Dur. Yep. My thyroid gland is enlarged. All right, Angie, start getting into the sea vegetables. If you get sea vegetables, you don't have to do this. Oh, not that. You don't have to do the iodine, but start taking iodine, right? And do some energy work on your thyroid, on your ability to express. Ability to express yourself in all things. That's what I'm getting for you. Let me know if that's true. You don't have to, by the way, if sometimes I'll just intuitively say things to some of you in here. If it doesn't rhyme and it doesn't jive, please let me know. You don't have to buy what I say. Don't pay attention to lower entities. That's right. Don't pay them. Pay is the key. Any attention. I agree with that, Quasar. You have no thyroid? Okay, you had it removed? Okay. Everything still applies because you have an endocrine system. Okay? Peaches? Okay. So that's the physical manifestation, Angie, of that issue. So it will be, you can do all the things, but deeply addressed much more thoroughly at the emotional level. So energy work, emotional work, okay? Lupus, autoimmune lupus, yes. Lupus is also the same thing, autoimmune disease. That's an attack on the endocrine system. The body attacking itself. Its roots are there. So you start working with the endocrine system energetically, on an emotional level, and also start giving it the nutrition it needs. And start speaking to the body, talking to the endocrine. Talk to everything. Those of you who've watched me long enough know I talk to everything. You talk to it all. Blade of grass down here, I'll talk to it. And it will answer. Everything is here for you. We're all here for each other. I say that a lot to people. We're all here for each other. I include the blade of grass that right next to me. Have tendon and muscle issues. Have a conversation with those. Quasar, have a conversation with those tendon and muscle issues and see what comes, and just give it time. Because sometimes when you ask yourself, one of the most important spiritual practice, those of you who know, is you speaking to yourself on a regular basis with the intention of speaking to the Creator that is within you and you at the same time. You'll be amazed at the answers you get. There is power in talking. Energy is everywhere. That's right, Captain Kirk. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is, I should spend a little time on the salt before I get to that. Salt. Salt. Salt is something everybody uses. I want you guys to shift from whatever salt you have. Use up what you have. And start using Celtic sea salt or Icelandic sea salt. Because those two salts contain the 3 forms of magnesium within them. And is much more nutrient dense than just a regular salt. And the regular salt is mined in a way that is unethical. and sometimes has other elements in it that are not good for the body. So shift from the salt you're using to those. And again, this is also going to help the endocrine system. Sodium is the most abundant mineral in the body. So you want to make sure that your sodium is the best you can put in there, and it's not costly to do it. Celtic sea salt or Icelandic sea salt. Very important. And I mentioned magnesium. The best way to take magnesium is good for so many things. The bone, the brain, and all of that. The best way is to put it on the largest organ there is, the skin. So I would get a magnesium spray, and when I get out of the shower, spray the body, put it on the torso area every day. When you start, if you're magnesium deficient, it's going to be a little itchy just for like 30 seconds to a minute. And that's your indicator that, I really need to do this because I'm magnesium deficient, because I can feel a little bit of an itch. And then it goes away. And then after about, the deficiency goes away pretty quickly. After about a week of consistently using it, after you get out of the shower, the itching goes away. Now your body is getting the amount of magnesium that it needs. So that goes away very quickly. You're welcome, IDC. I do magnesium flake and sea salt minerals. Yes, because that is the best way to place magnesium in the body through the skin. How do I use sea salt? You go, Angelina. You just go to, and I'll talk about lemon right now too, while you're there. Angelina, you just go to, to your store, and you get like what they call Epsom salt baths. Epsom is the manufacturer name. That's the one I would. That's the one I wouldn't recommend. But if that's all you have, then use it. And this, you put it in the bath, and it gives you the instructions when you get it. You have to buy this from a store. He said, "Do you have? I want to get bath salts to bathe with." And if you go to any place to buy it, they'll know. And then it tells you how much to put in the tub, and that will give you magnesium. It will also cleanse your energy body. These salt baths, completely, thoroughly healthy, and is soothing. You feel so good afterwards. And this little fruit is phenomenal every morning, and it's especially healthy if you're blood type A, because it then also helps your stomach to generate these digestive acids that you need to digest breakfast. Because blood type A, that's one of our weaknesses. We don't have enough of this digestive juices. So this helps us to digest it. And that is why red meat should be avoided and eaten very sparingly by blood type A, because we can't produce enough of this digestive acids to digest the food. And by the way, so these acids of digestion are also used to scavenge for cancer. So the same thing that we use to digest is the same thing the body uses to look for cancer cells. So if you're eating meat all the time as blood type A, your body doesn't have the tool it needs to scavenge for cancer cells. And you'll be prone to cancer, to developing cancer, if you eat too much meat as blood type A. Too much red meat, that is. So let's get to what I had in my hand. This, my friends, is one of the most important. Many say the most important vitamin, but I don't like to say that. Because this, let me tell you something. Let me tell you how important this is. Insurance companies will get medical records, and they look for people who are deficient in this, and they predict how long you're going to live based on your deficiency in this. Vitamin D3. And you see this one says D3 with K2. This is what you must have. And it must be not in a solid tablet, but in oil format. Oil. With K2. You should be getting 10,000 IUs. That's how they measure it. Every day, D3. Now, the only exception is if you're in the sun 2-3 hours a day, 40% of your skin exposed. And the only people that can do that are people with melanated, that are very melanated. Right? The only people that stay in the sun 2-3 hours without being burnt are people that are melanated. The sun is important for every single one. So if you're not melanated, please do not listen to these idiots who tell you to avoid the sun. Just go into the morning sun if your skin is not melanated. If your skin is like this, go into the morning sun or the late evening sun. 40% of your body exposed 15 to 20 minutes. Easy. And you have all the sun you need. But you want to do that 4 times a week. And if you're not doing it 4 times a week, get as much sun as you can. The right sun, right? And then supplement with D3. This is the only vitamin that is also a hormone. Hello? I will repeat. This is the only vitamin that is also a hormone. You're not taking this, and all of a sudden they want to pump you with all these hormones and stuff. Start taking your vitamin D3. And if you're low and deficient, I said 10,000 IUs. That's if you're to keep it where it should be, maintenance. If you're low, you need to double it, 20,000 IUs. And when you get your checkup, if you go to the doctor and you get blood work, tell them you want to measure your vitamin D levels. They won't do it unless you ask them. And you want your vitamin levels, B levels, to be 50 or higher. Not what they say. They'll tell you here in the United States, it's, oh, if your levels are 30 and above, you're good. No, you're not. They lie. They work for the pharmaceutical companies. 30 is extremely low. You want it to be 50 or higher. 50. Take your vitamin D2 with D3 with K2 so that your body actually can use it. And if you have tablets and they're not in oil, you take it with an oil. Olive oil, omega-3 oils. Take it with a healthy oil. I'll get into oils in a little bit, okay? We'll get into oils in a little bit. So far, just to recap, for those who have just come in, water. Be intentional with your water. Give it gratitude before you drink it, because you're 73% water. And by giving it gratitude, you change the dynamic of the water and it behaves differently within you. Lemons. Lemons are fantastic. They help the endocrine system, the pineal gland, the body, the liver, everything, minerals, everything, right? And all other citrus. I just can't have everything here. That's why I don't have like other things, right? I talked about fermented foods, kombucha, sauerkraut. Great for you, great for the stomach, great for giving nourishment to the beneficial bacteria in there, great for introducing new ones, right? Because you want balance in there. You don't want the other bacteria to outbalance the ones that are good. Now, the ones that are so-called bad, they're not bad, they're needed. E. coli is in the stomach. You need it, right? But when E. coli becomes too much, then it's a problem, right? All the things that they need, you need them. You need them for digestion. You need it all. There's really no bad bacteria down there, but you want to have balance. Drink a little bit of kombucha here. Where you live, kimchi is also, that's the number one fermented food on the planet, kimchi. Now, where you are in the world, you might not, sauerkraut might not be available. Kombucha, you can make this, by the way. It's a tea. It's fermented tea is what it is. Anyone can make this. Every culture has a fermented food tradition within it, no matter where you are in the world. Participate in that fermented food culture, right? And then talked about sea vegetables, how important they are. They have nutrients in there that you don't get from the land. Iodine is one of them. Iodine. All the brain food, the biggest, most important brain foods come from the sea. Seaweed, Irish moss, sea moss, many of the sea algae. You just look up sea vegetables and it'll give you a long list, right? And if you're eating your sea vegetables, you don't need to supplement with iodine. If you're not, then you need to supplement with iodine, especially if you're female. You need more iodine than your male counterpart. Very important. And these all help to get the body healthy. And when you're healthy, all of a sudden, your spiritual path becomes a tad easier, because then you don't have the blockages. Because each and every organ in your system has a spiritual component to it, deals with spiritual and emotional sides to it. And so if it's healthy, it's able to work with you on that. Right? The heart, love, gratitude, appreciation, and compassion. If you're on the negative side of things, it's hatred and cruelty. Stomach, worry and anxiety. If you're in the negative side of it, openness, fairness, and trust are the positive emotions there. So you see why it's important to really treat the body well, because everything is spiritual and holds the spiritual components. Let's go to the kidneys. The kidneys hold kindness, gentleness, harmlessness, and calm and peace. You want to bring peace into your life? The kidneys, you start doing the Tao. I'm working on putting out the inner smile. It's on YouTube. You can go there if you want to jump ahead. But often the people that are doing it, they miss out and they leave out little things. Every single inner smile. This exercise, the inner smile, teaches you to look down into your organs and be intentional and purging out the things that you don't want there and bringing in the things that you do. And this exercise is a great practice for healing and really knowing a bit more about yourself. This is the knowing stuff about yourself part that I'm starting to talk about more often. And so you can start doing this. So I'm working on that. And the negative emotions of the kidneys are fear and stress. Fear and stress in your life? Please address the kidneys. Hey, Lawyer 1257. The lungs, righteousness and courage. This one needs a lot of attention for a lot of people. People in fear all the time, scared and afraid of everything. You need to breathe in righteousness and courage and breathe out the negative emotions of the lungs, which are sadness, grief, and depression. Those of you who are depressed, you need this exercise that I'm gonna be putting out this week. The inner smile. And it'll be on my YouTube. So if you're interested in that, just go to the bio and just subscribe to the YouTube channel there. Also, go to the profile and subscribe to the newsletter in case something happens with TikTok. Then we can stay in contact and I can let you know where we are. Okay, so go there and please subscribe to the newsletter so that we can stay in contact. Right? And then the liver and the gallbladder. I'm just going through this really quickly. There's the important stuff really quickly. Anger and resentment are the negative emotions of the liver. And patience and forgiveness, it almost slipped me, are the positive emotions that the liver holds. So when you know this, you can go, you know what, I'm impatient today. Why? Oh, let me just breathe some of that into the liver with intention and the breath. Oh man, I'm just feeling a little bit off today. What are you feeling? I'm feeling a little bit sad. Why? Oh, because this, that, and the other. Okay, then take care of that. And while you take care of that, just work with the lungs. Breathe in courage and righteousness. Breathe out sadness. grief and depression. So we help them and they help us. But you must know. Knowing stuff is important. Okay? We should never celebrate ignorance like many that I see today. Knowing yourself is the most important thing you can do in life.